Today, you have joined me for the episodic series known as Brian's Belief. Greetings, I am Brian, and today we will be talking about the world's number one concern, coronavirus. But before we do that, I will give today's quote of the day. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I am asking him to change his ways. Now this one comes from the one, the only MJ. Now I want to dive deep in the literal and spiritual meaning of these very wise words. Who is the man in the mirror was my first question. I've often thought of this because throughout the song he coins the term man in the mirror, and he doesn't specifically say who that is. Now I have a belief that the man is trapped there, but you might be asking, how does one enter the mirror dimension? Perhaps we shall never know the answer. However, I do have my own experience with the strange world known as the mirror dimension. It was around last summer solstice when I had dreamt that I got trapped in my own mirror. I was horrified, but what it taught me was selflessness. And I think that is what Mr. Jackson is preaching with this hit song, Man in the Mirror. Okay, now to move on to the topic of the day, coronavirus. Now, I believe coronavirus is quite an oversaturated market for news at the moment, but I will cover it as well. Now, coronavirus is all over the world. There are over 66,000 cases right now in the US and over 940 deaths. Now, if we look at the whole world, there are over 468,000 cases and over 21,000 deaths. With all this information acquired, we can see that the US takes up around 14% of the cases and around 4% of the deaths. These sound like scary numbers, so shall we compare these numbers to other infectious diseases? Around 25 million died of the Black Plague. If we compare 25 million deaths to 21,000 deaths, we could see that the Black Plague was over 1,000 times more deadly than coronavirus. This is a lot to consider here, and I think we need to settle this information into our brains. Now, we have to look at who is to blame. There's always someone to blame, and this is where my belief comes in. I believe the people responsible for this are the Greys. Now, you might be wondering who the Greys are. Are they some kind of 90s R&B band? Or are they a political party? No, my friend, they are none of those. They are aliens. That's right, extraterrestrials may be responsible for this global pandemic. When asked about the Greys, President Trump gave a typical politician's answer. Take a look.
Well, I just think it's a nasty question because what we've done is...
Why would the President of the United States lie about such a thing? Perhaps we shall never know. But what we do know... Sorry. Excuse me, I might have to fight the fire, if you understand my metaphor. I will take you with because a podcast doesn't include video, so why wouldn't I? Okay. Anyway, there are many things that you should be concerned about, and I don't think we should rule out the possibility of the Greys being involved. Now, social distancing is a huge thing going on currently. Now, I'm a social butterfly, so the idea of not being able to engage in social discussion with other beings distresses me. I happen to get invited to many social gatherings, so this sort of thing annoys me. However, I do believe everyone should respect it and withdraw from their normal communal lives and dive deep into solitude, similar to the 3rd century hermit, Paul the Hermit. Now, one of the most important things to remember during this time is to wash your hands. Washing your hands is very important. You need to wash your hands for literally everything you need to do. Washing your hands should take your priority for everyday life. Okay, I am now back at the studio. I will conclude this episode of Brian's Belief. Thanks so much. I had a pleasure with this episode. Stay safe, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay sweet. Thank you.